Okay, Joel, think. Rainbows. What can you do for an intro? I've got it. I'll sing Somewhere Over the Rainbow. Can't really sing, but I'm sure people won't mind. Okay. Somewhere. Oh my gosh, I just listened to this back in editing and I seriously can't let you listen. Let's just get on with the video. So today we're going to be building 7 different castles, and each of those castles is going to be after a colour in the rainbow. And we're going to try and build them representing the colour that they are. Let's get started. This is going to be a long build. So starting off with the first colour of the rainbow, it has to be red, of course. And when I think of the colour red, I think evil, I think fire, I think red. So of course I had to build a red, fiery, evil style castle. And I went for a kind of standard castle look here with the 4 turrets around the outside, except they've got nice little roofs on them that are made out of these redstone blocks. And then I went for a very evil looking main castle with a skull, all these big tall pointy towers and just pointy roofs, and also added some fire around it as well just to make it look extra scary. Although it's not really that scary, it's still kind of cutesy scary. As you can probably tell by now, I did use modded Minecraft to make these. These are not your standard Minecraft blocks because there's just so many more options for colours when you're building these rainbow castles, as all you really have in the main game for red is like nether brick, red concrete and wool and just boring stuff. So I went for modded, so these castles will all be very different and very unique in their own way. Now building these castles did take a long time. Each castle took around an hour, and I did not decorate the inside of any of them because that would have added an extra hour on top of each of the castles, and I feel like each inside would be very similar in just adding the bedroom and stuff like that, so I wasn't going to bore you with that. Let's go have a quick look at this castle though. So this castle is very evil looking, very red. We have the lava coming down outside here, plus the grounds has got this sort of podzol brick texture, and inside we've got the glowstone under the windows just to light it up from the outside. You can see up the massive towers, and there's like multiple floors in this castle, 3 in total, but no staircase yet because I would have added that in last, and seeing as I wasn't decorating the inside, I didn't feel the need to add staircases in, but a very evil looking castle. Moving on from red, however, of course we have the colour orange. Now when I think of orange, I think warm colours. I feel like it's very like showy offy. It reminds me of the colour gold a lot and different types of shiny metals, so I thought I'd go for a very blingy, very bright, vibrant sort of castle. We're starting off with a circular domed roof weird thing here, which I think looks pretty cool, and I feel like if you want to show off, you build stuff in circles in Minecraft. A square is very easy, the blocks are square. You want to make it look fancy, you build it in circles. So we've got a very circular based building here with a circular wall you'll see later on as well. The roofs are made from a custom glowstone texture which is from the chisel mod, and each of the windows is glowing and inviting inside because this is a very bright, very nice looking castle. This is the only castle that I built as well which actually has a wall which you can walk around it on. Of course it's got the towers as well, and you're probably wondering, Joel, what's that sphere thing doing there? That's because I made a sphere in World Edit and then I copied it onto the top of the building here to speed up the process. There's actually a lot of copy and pasting going on through this entire video because I'm lazy and I can't be bothered to build the same thing multiple times, and symmetry is lovely as well. Inside, I added a load of gems and glowstone bits as well, but let's go have a look around quickly. So unlike the towers on the sides at that one, this one has the towers at the front and the sides instead, with a very nice wall going around the outside. The entrance is through one of the towers, in fact, and in the midst here, you have some lovely glowstone, gold blocks and other fancy things, as well as a chicken. What are you doing in here? With just the main tower building in the middle with multiple floors, this is plenty big enough for anybody to live in, and all in all a very fancy castle. Now unfortunately I got to this point of the yellow castle here, as you can see, and then my Minecraft crashed, meaning I lost the entire time lapse. But you can see what I was going for. Yellow, I think beaches, I think the sun. So I made a sandcastle, and I did it in a traditional sandcastle style with the 4 turrets around the edge, plus like it looks like it would stand up if you made it out of sand, with a big hole through the middle at the top. And of course you've got to add the flags on it. Any sandcastle isn't complete without a nice flag, and I made the flags yellow and the roof yellow too, just to make it more stand out as the yellow castle. I'll go give you a quick tour, although there's nothing really that interesting inside it. So here it is. We also have the yellow windows I forgot to mention, and this bit up here you sort of just walk through. I've seen some sand castles with this sort of feature before, and of course we got it on top of sand as well. Very sandcastle-y, and it's also got a very nice balcony which you can look out across the other castles which you're not meant to see yet. Hey, there you go, you can look at the orange one over there. My yellow sandcastle, looking pretty cool. Now green, my favourite colour for building in Minecraft, and I think I did it very much justice in this build you'll see here. When I think of green, I think of nature, I think of Shrek, but we're going to just ignore Shrek for now, we're going to more focus on the nature. So I built this sort of multi-tier castle here, which has 4 separate roofs, and each of those is a roof garden, which I filled with some lovely trees, different types of trees that we have in this mod pack, which is mainly from the Biomes of Plenty mod, just some flowering oaks, some willow trees, and the standard vanilla Minecraft oak tree. I also covered it in vines, lit it up, make it look all pretty, and I'm really happy with the wall around this castle you'll see in a second. After building the sand castle, I thought, you know what, that's not yellow enough. Let's go all out on the green castle, and oh boy, is this thing green. So for the wall, I added a lovely little gate. Very simple, but it does the job. Obviously made out the same green emerald bricks that I'm using. Then I added this sort of grass block around, put some other blocks on the side, added some fences, and then added a load of trees down it. And this wall is unpenetrable. You can't actually get through it because of the fences, and the trees I feel like just make it look very natural, very pretty. And of course I had to add more nature in, so I added a load of trees on the inside as well as loads of flowers and plants. So a very overgrown looking castle, but very natural looking indeed. If we head through the main gate here, you get to the very lovely nature section, and all the vines coming down off the trees and on the side of the building really make this castle look really overgrown. Each floor has a door out onto the garden, and I really just love the tiers of different levels of trees. I think it really looks nice, and the walls look really cool as well with all the different leaf colours and stuff like that. Moving on to our 5th castle today, we have our blue castle, which when you think blue, there's nothing else you can think of other than the ocean. I guess you could think of the sky as well, but I went for the ocean as it's quite hard to make a castle out of air. So I did another circular castle, however, this one has a bit of a twist. Each level has a layer of water in it, which then I added to by making loads of water fountains just sort of spewing out, that sounds disgusting, of the top of each layer of the castle. It kind of looks like a tiered cake made out of water. I'm not sure what you do with this water. There's not very easy to walk in, but you could go for a nice swim out in it if you wanted to. One problem I kept having was that I kept flooding the entire area, as you can see there, as I was misplacing the blocks, but I did manage to make it work in the end. Also, I was struggling where to put windows, as there was just quite a lot of water coming out of this castle. I didn't really have space for windows. Also, this is the only castle which has a moat and a wall. It's got a wall around the outside, but once you climb over that wall, you're stuck on some blooming moat as well, so it's really hard to get into this castle. So not only is it very nice to look at, it is also very good at keeping anybody from getting inside your water castle. But I think I got the blue effect across. I think there's nothing else you can say about this castle, Dan. Yeah, it's blue. Definitely blue. Inside we got this nice little bridge over the moat here, which is lovely, and inside the actual castle itself, nothing, because we didn't decorate any of them. The one problem is this sort of water dripping down, which is pretty gross, but you could probably fix that somehow. Not sure how, but there's probably a way. But up the tiers, it gets smaller and smaller, and you've got this massive fountain on top as well. Very blue, very watery. I love it. Moving on to our penultimate castle, we have the purple castle. Now, when I think of purple, I think magical. I think purple. So of course I made a magical looking purple castle. Now luckily the purple blocks in this mod pack that I'm using have some very magical looking items. So I combined that with a very magical looking castle. When I think magical, I think very tall with big spires and big roofs, and of course big windows, which I actually added a little bit of yellow stained pane glass into as well to give it a sort of like sparkly magical effect. And I've also got this very sort of starry roof as well, which looks a bit weird at the moment, but when you get up close to it, it looks really nice, I promise you that. We also have these two littler towers as well, which are both linked up. I know they're not at the moment, but I linked them up in a little bit. Okay, stop panicking, alright? And they are also in a very similar style to the main castle with the big windows and just fancy windows as well. They're not very simple, they're all over the place, very weird looking. Now, I did not build a wall on this castle because I thought, you know what, it's magical. Where do you normally find a magical castle? In the woods. And luckily in this mod pack, in Biomes of Plenty, we have some purpley looking trees. I think they're called Umbran trees, and they look really cool, really magical and mysterious, and as you see them grow there, they look fantastic. And here it is, you get a very mysterious, magical, mystery effect. The roof, as you can see, is made out of these sort of star blocks, which do look really cute when you're up close. It's not very lit up, this castle, because I thought if I lit it up, it would look more pink, and I want to keep it that dark, mysterious, purple, magical colour. But we have this glowstone path leading up to it, and as you look up, look at that, beautiful. It's linked up to the small tower down here and linked up to the bigger tower up there as well. A very purpley, very magical castle. And then we move on to our final castle, which of course is the pink castle. And when you think of pink, you have to think of love and romance and just plain old cuteness. So I made this very cute, not very big castle where I've got this sort of house-style main section of it, and then I've got some turrets on the right of it. And of course, you've got to have the love heart windows. In fact, we had two love heart windows in this castle. The one on the front being the smallest of the two because you've got to have the door underneath it, whereas at the back we just went wild. We made that thing a huge heart on the back of this castle. And this thing is so pink. In fact, it's probably a little bit sickly how pink this castle is. We also added the pink stained glass inside the heart windows, whereas we just had the plain glass on the other part. I really wanted the hearts to stand out and look magnificent. And I really like the effect from this angle where you can see through and see the heart in the other end of the castle as well. I also added windowsills onto this castle, which is the only one I added windowsills onto. And luckily, because of the mods I was using, there's loads of pink trees, which I added around the outside. But first, I built my love heart wall, which I stretched all around the edge of the castle, which I think is really cool and unique and keeps up with the love and romance theme that we got going. But here you'll see me placing a load of trees and poof, they're gonna grow like that. Lovely. Let's go have a final look around this pink castle. So in comparison to the other castles, this one is a lot smaller, but I think that's fine as we're going for a quaint and awesome looking castle here with the big pink heart windows. Through here you can see this lovely pink spotty floor and a big love heart window at the back, which you can see out of on both floors. Very cutesy, especially in comparison to the other castles. And of course, very pink. So let's do a quick sweep around of all the different styles of castles. The yellow one is actually the biggest, although the green is probably my favourite. But I am pretty fond of the other castles as well. Let me know which is your favourite in the comments down below. Or you can vote in the poll in the top right as well. But there you have it, guys. That is going to be it for this video. I hope you do enjoy the castles that I made. Did take a long time to build these, so if you could leave a like, that would be appreciated. And thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.